Hi y'all, thanks for stopping by Designed by Kathy. For this Tuesday tip, I'm going to be doing pouring resin over a couple of pours that I know I had used silicone in. I know a lot of people are afraid of it because they've heard that you can't put resin over silicone. Some people have done it and had bad experiences, and yes, you can have a bad experience with resin over silicone. But I have two solutions, easy solutions, that will take care of that. And it took care of it really well. Anyway, simple little solutions. So don't be afraid to use the resin over a pour with silicone. Go ahead and use the silicone. So I do want to say that for the second one that I do, and I'll put in, there'll be a note up on the video. If you're going to use the sealer, the acrylic sealer, put 2 coats, because it's a spray and you don't want to miss any spots, and it's so easy to if you're spraying it on. So anyway, let's get right to it and see how to resin over pours that have had silicone in them. So today's Tuesday tip, I've got 2 different canvases here that I know I used silicone in. This one I have sprayed with this Krylon satin crystal clear. I put a good coat, make sure to get the edges and everything, put a good coat on that to seal it. On this one, I'm going to use another method. This is a talc powder. It is by, I got it at, it's American Crafts. Got it at Hobby Lobby. And this is a talc powder that's supposed to absorb any silicone that is remaining on the canvas, so it will take the resin. So let's start with this one. This one is you know, it's dry. But I'm going to let it dry just a little more, and we'll start with this one. Okay, so the instructions just say, well, it says to go to, but go to a video, but it said to put it on and smooth it out and then wipe it off. So let's see how this works. Alright, that looks pretty cleaned off. Alright, so let's get the resin and start pouring the resin. Alrighty, so I've got 8 ounces of resin here for this canvas. So we're going to start putting it on, and won't necessarily know immediately. Now if you have used resin over a piece with silicone and you know what happens, then oh, what was that? Something jumped off of my cup. It will pull away. It'll separate off the canvas in places where it's just not adhering, and it'll just pull away. So whether you've actually done it and you're like, I don't want to do that again, or whether it's just something that you've heard, like, you don't want to use resin if you're going to be, how many times, don't want to use silicone. I said all that wrong, didn't I? Silicone, and then you want to resin. I'm just going to use my fingers. I feel like I can really feel where the resin goes and doesn't go because it'll kind of drag when you hit a dry spot. Be sure, if I didn't say this already, be sure that when you're pouring resin on your piece, make sure that your piece is as level as possible. Oops. Oh, that was what was on my cup a while ago that picked up off my table. Now that is looking pretty good right now. I don't see anything pulling away from the canvas, and generally, experimenting in the past, it'll start pulling away pretty quick, but I don't see anything pulling away. Yeah, this is looking really nice, and with just that talc powder. Okay, I'm gonna get the resin ready for this piece that we put the satin, well, it's just crystal clear. And I do see some little things I'm going to need a toothpick for, but we'll come back and get those. But right now, we get the resin ready for this one, and we're going to pour it on the second canvas. So this is a much smaller canvas, clearly, than this one. I'm going to use 2 ounces of resin on here. This is our piece that we just sealed with the Krylon clear satin. Two ounces may not be enough, but I didn't want to over mix and have leftover resin and nothing else to pour it on. I think it'll be fine. Again, you know, I don't know if you've tried pouring resin over something with the silicone, or you're just hearing. I see a lot of people post that, oh, I'm afraid to use it, what I've heard. So, this, you know, I want to address both issues. If you've done it and, you know, you weren't happy with what happened, this is the solution. And if you've not done it and just heard bad things, again, this is the solution. I'm a much bigger fan of using silicone in my projects than just water to get sales. I'm not a super fan of water, and I'll have that in at another time in another Tuesday tip. But again, I see nothing trying to pull away. So when you're using the spray, be sure to get your sides and these edges right here with the spray. Put a good coat, maybe even put 2 coats. It dries really quickly. Doesn't take a lot. Just want to make sure you have a good even coat on it. I'm going to torch out the bubbles. If you're afraid of using a torch, don't hesitate to use a heat gun. A heat gun can also get your bubbles out. And also another thing, it's called Eat a Bubble. And in that you can find on my, through the Amazon link below. Okay, I'm going to let these sit for a little bit, for about an hour, and then I'll come back and do you a close-up, because I won't be able to, well, I can show you the finished product at another, that, my friend, is not good. That's probably my hair. That's not good. Okay, we got that. But again, you know, take your little toothpick and any little dust particle or something that got in there, just get it out with your toothpick. Just don't stab your canvas. Just pop those bubbles and pull out any little dust or fuzz or hair. Okay, so we'll be back in an hour and take a look at it.